Hello. So I would like to make a quick video just reviewing my customer service experience with the company that makes the fencing gloves. If you are into historical European fencing, combat fencing, historical European combat, uh, then you will know what I'm talking about. And if you're new to that, then basically it's the martial arts of historical European people. I don't like the term martial arts, and so I encourage you, I disavow that term right now for you. I disavow that term, I reject it, I deny it, and I hope that you will too. I ask that you would. I just call it historical European combat fencing because to fence is to fight. And when you are doing offense, that is fighting, and defense, that is fighting, it's the same basic word. So customer service experience. These are the most popular, the most well-known brand of hand protection gloves because when you are doing historical European combat, historically correct, then you're probably going to need protection on your hands. You're probably going to get hit. That's the number one place you're likely to be hit. And just a simple, a very, it feels, a long sword or any other weapon, it's very powerful. It's a lot of leverage, it's a lot of strength, it's a lot of weight that can come through that weapon into your fingers, and your fingers are not very strong compared to what that weapon is able to put out. And yeah, it's blunt, but that doesn't affect it. It'll break your fingers, it'll break your hand, it'll break your wrist, etc. And so, of course, you need hand protection. And, usually people go to something that has a hard kind of a shell. There's various models on the market. More and more are coming out. But I figured I wanted a pair because I do want to participate in live sparring with steel. And, of course, not with this baby. This is just here for decoration. But this is a real one. This is not what you would spar with. This is a real wakizashi. But when I went to go get it, there's a certain website you go, and these gloves are made in Poland, and they are sold in the United States through one guy who is the distributor. And I think he is part of the same company, so they have an office in the United States. And I don't have any problem with the people in Poland. They do a good job. But it's just the one guy who is in America as part of this company. I feel like, at least in my experience, he did not give me very respectful or very helpful customer service. As you can see, I ordered the long version. Excuse me. I ordered the long version, which goes most of the way up your arm, so that my whole arm would be protected. And that is more expensive than the basic version, which are off the shelf. The basic version off the shelf would be, basically to about right here, so about half the length. And I wanted to cover my entire forearm, and I think it looks cooler. And I'm sorry if you can't see the real color. It seems like it's washing out in yellow. That might be from my light bulbs in this room, but maybe I can edit that and fix it. But either way, if you can see the logo there. And so the first ones that I got, I paid the extra price for the nice ones that are custom fitted to the shape and size of my arm and in my hand. And I waited a very long time. It took them a long time to process. And I was told to expect that wait, and I was willing to go through with it. But then after all that time, what showed up to my door? The half-length off-the-shelf rack. So it's half the length off the shelf. It's not custom fit at all. But I was still being charged a high price for it. And that bothered me, and I was like, no, that's not okay. And, this person, that's after I go through the process of purchasing, because you have to do it through email to get to iron out all the details and the wrinkles. that come into this because he didn't want to sell me a pair of gloves. I said I want to buy a pair of gloves, and he's like, essentially the way he spoke to me, he did not want to sell me a pair of gloves. At that point in time, they were coming out with a new version of gloves that have individual fingers, and it's very cool. I'm not saying that it's not cool, it's just that I wanted a pair of these, which have the split finger. There's the hoof, or the clamshell, the split clamshell, and that's the more common one. And, I just, in any type of a glove situation, the clamshell glove is always going to be the more protective version. That's just the way gloves work. The clamshell is usually the more protective version, and it's the more common version, and it's battle tested. People have been using this for years. This particular model has been used for years and years. But people, he only just came out with that. The people in Poland only developed that new version of the glove with fingers, less than 2 weeks or 1 month prior. And so it's untested. I don't know if it's effective or not. And I'm not trying to insult your product or something. I'm just saying I didn't say anything negative about the finger gloves that have individual fingers. I'm just saying I want a pair of split clamshell gloves, and he would not cooperate with me. He was almost arguing with me. He was very rude, and he basically did not want to sell me these gloves. And he took my money for the large, expensive, custom-fitted gloves, and then he didn't give me those. He took a good long time, and he sent me the short ones that are not custom fit at all, and I wanted them to fit my hand. And so, I had to talk with him, again and again to get these returned. And so I eventually returned it to the U.S. Post Office, and so these gloves and my money were up in the air. And so eventually I just had to talk to the lady who is the owner of this company, and I just spoke with her because I can talk with her and she'll probably help me. And she did. She got me these out, and these are much better. Both gloves, the short gloves and the long gloves, this is not a review of the product quality. The product quality is very good. It's about exactly what you would expect. You see the product and then you get the result. It's the same. It's very good quality. It's not about that. It's long version, short version. It's just that, the customer service aspect. I think if she would review the customer service aspect, then probably it would work better for her sales in America. But, and even then, these do fit. Let me see if I can show you. I'm doing this one-handed here. Get in there. Okay. They do fit. They fit fairly well. They come basically up to my elbow, just maybe a little before it. Just right exactly at my elbow. So that's correct. The only thing I would question is, are the hand measurements correct? Because, with all the confusion resulting from the belligerent employee, I'm not sure if the lady got my measurements correct, because she probably had to get them from him. So, or she just had to guess. But, it is mostly correct. I just wonder if the hand could, the thumb particularly, these are fine, but the thumb might need to be adjusted. So, no big deal. I have it. It works. I'm happy with it. It's just that I didn't need to battle over, these gloves. And this is not, an angry... This is not, a video that's angry or something. This is... I just think that, it's something that probably people would like to hear about. It's something that would affect, their opinion. And I just think, my video, not that it's not meant to be mean or anything. It's just, it could result in improvement, so that people will see this and say, hey, let's improve. So, and this was a long time ago, so I don't even know if the same people are in that company. you know, it's not about any particular person. It's just, if I, you know, let's have nice customer service. So, anyways, that's what I have to say. In any other way, these are very good quality, nice product. You can get these in different colors. Sometimes, like, you can get the material to be a different color, get the stitching to be a different color. But I just opted for the traditional black and white look because I think it looks nice. So that's my story, and thanks for watching.